Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to be doing on my channel. A bunch of different guides on buying Dragon Ball figures. I see all the time there are so many people who do different guides on how to collect figures and stuff like that. And I suppose that this technically also falls under that jurisdiction. But after being in the figure collecting community for so long and knowing how all of this stuff works, I wanted to bestow my knowledge upon you, the viewer, about how to purchase Dragon Ball figures and everything that you need to know. This is going to be an upcoming series of videos regarding a few different topics. At the moment, what I have planned for this series is, of course, the video you are watching now, how to find the perfect Dragon Ball figure for you. Then we have a beginner's guide to types of Dragon Ball figures and their prices. As well, we also have where to buy Dragon Ball figures, and the probably most long-awaited video on this channel from the comment section, how to import Dragon Ball figures from Japan. Yes, I know you guys have been asking for this video. It is finally going to happen as a part of this series. And then we will make a video going over third-party figures. Regarding the beginner's guide to types of Dragon Ball figures and their prices, I feel like that video and this video could kind of either be the first in this series. However, the reason why I'm giving you this video first before that one is because the particular resource that we are going to go over today will be invaluable in your endeavors when it comes to doing your research on what Dragon Ball figures you want and what kind of figures there are and all that type of stuff. This is just a good website to have in hand to help you with all kinds of different things. But the thing that I think it is best for, and of course the title of this video in the case of today, how to find the perfect Dragon Ball figure for you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm sure when you're thinking, how do I find the perfect Dragon Ball figure for me? You're probably thinking, okay, I could most likely just go to something like, Amazon, or I could go to, a more figure-oriented site like Big Bad Toy Store and search through different things on there. Of course, that is always something that you can do, and you can look at what all these different stores have in stock. And of course, like I said, coming up in the future of this series, I'll be going over a bunch of different places that you can buy figures at, the details about buying figures from these different websites, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind for the future, right? And of course, that's always something you could do, or you could always go on YouTube and of course look up, videos about different figures and stuff like that and see what you want, which ironically enough, that will actually come back again later in the video. But I think the best place to start when looking for a Dragon Ball figure of your own is the GOAT, MyFigureCollection.net. This is a website that I have used in many of my YouTube videos in the past. If you've watched my figure news series for any length amount of time, you have definitely seen me use this website before. Basically, My Figure Collection is a fantastic resource that will give you every single detail you ever need to know about any Dragon Ball figure that has ever been created. Of course, we're talking about official figures here. Like I said in the beginning, I will do eventually a video on third-party figures because I think that kind of deserves its own video. But all of these videos will be related to official Dragon Ball products, and that is what our website here, My Figure Collection, covers. In fact, they cover a lot more than just Dragon Ball. They cover everything, right? Here on the homepage, we can see that we have somebody's collection on display here, a couple of new articles, right? Different discussion pieces going on, so on and so forth. This website basically documents, essentially, as far as I know, every single anime figure that has ever been made in the history of mankind. Maybe not back that far, but it is a fantastic website of documentation. So let's just give you a couple of examples of some things that could really help you out on your journey for finding the perfect figure. And I will also give you a bunch of different details and ways that the website works to kind of help you search through the website. So to just kind of get started with things, I'm going to give you something super easy, right? We're just going to type Goku into the search bar, and you can see all different types of things here pop up, right? You can see, ironically enough, Rengoku also comes up, right? A couple of different anime characters with Goku in their name. Funny enough, I think these are some users on the website, because you can make an account on the site that are named Goku. But of course, we can see that the first result here is Son Goku, and that is what we want. Now, what I would recommend if you're looking for a specific character is if you search that character, right, and then you want to find that particular character, right, you're going to go to a figure of that character. So let's just click on, for example, the Dragon Ball Z Son Gohan Son Goku Gigantic Series Special Color version. You're then going to obviously go here and click on characters, right? And you can see here now every single base form Goku figure that has ever existed is at your disposal. As well, this website does also have stuff besides figures. It has some different media. It has some different goods that are more like little tchotchkes, or, you know, like stickers or that type of thing. But what we want to look at is figures, right? So when you're doing this search, you always want to click on this number right here, right? It has two different options, calendar, and of course you can see the number of entries for this, which is what we want to click on here. And now you can see every single base form Goku figure that has ever been created. I know, this is a lot, right? The way that I would organize this, by the way, because as you can see, there are a couple of different filters that you can go by. You can go by all of these different things here. I know you can't see it on the screen. I'll put a screenshot up of it for you on the screen right now. But basically, what you can do is you can sort by all different kinds of things. And what we want to look at here is filters. This is the main thing that I always use. When I'm looking at this type of thing, I usually use release date, because edition date is the date that it was added to the website. So if they're going back and doing some old figures, like you can see this really old Goku figure right here, right, from 2003. Of course, this bad boy right here is not a new figure. So I'm sure probably that's what you're not going to be looking at, right? So you want to click on release date is what I would recommend, because then you can see that that kind of gives you the newest figures right here, right? Of course, the newest Dragon Ball figure of Goku at this time being the SH Figuarts GT Goku. And then as you can see here, right, you can scroll back and you can see all of these different Goku figures. So you can just look through this for hours realistically and look for exactly what you want. Now, if you are looking for a certain form, you can see that there are a couple of entries on the website. Like, for example, here, right, there is a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Some of the entries on the site will have the character listed as 2 different characters, but some of them will only have it listed as 1, right? So if we want, like, Goku, right, obviously they listed as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. I believe we can still type in Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and it should still come up. You can see here that it kind of uses basically, like, I don't want to say like fan terms, because obviously they call it Super Saiyan Blue in the anime, but even if you type in something that isn't exactly the name, chances are they are probably going to be able to, you know, figure out what you're saying, basically. So if we go to Goku here, you can see that now we have all of the Super Saiyan Blue Gokus that are obviously, you know, out in the wild, basically. You can click on any single one that you want. So this is obviously a fantastic resource for what specific character you're looking at and what specific form you're looking at. Because obviously you could say, oh, I want a Gohan figure, right? If we search Gohan, right, obviously there are going to be a bunch of different options here, right? You can see Son Gohan Super Saiyan 2, right? Gohan Super Saiyan, Great Saiyaman, Ultimate Gohan. This website has you covered when it comes to all of these different factors, right? So obviously you can choose the form that you want. Obviously, if you just want any Gohan, then I guess you can just look through them all. But, right, in this case, you can see if we just click Ultimate Gohan here, then obviously we can see all of the Ultimate Gohan figures that have been made, which is surprisingly enough not a lot. I thought that this list would be a lot bigger, to be honest with you. But I guess it's not. I mean, it makes sense, though. Basically, everything that I would recommend is on this page. I know somewhere here is the Grandista Gohan, which is a figure that I would highly recommend when it comes to Ultimate Gohan. But I digress. Regardless, that is how you look for the particular character and form that you would want to look for for one of these characters. So let's actually just take a look at some of the information that one of these pages has, right? Because I think that this will be very helpful for kind of, you know, getting you a little bit more familiar with the website, that being the information that is displayed on the site, right? So if we click on, for example, the DXF Ultimate Gohan, right? This, of course, was a semi-recent Dragon Ball superhero figure that released for the movie, right? You can see that it has the category, which is pre-painted, right? Obviously, this is not a model kit, so of course the figure is going to come pre-painted. We have the classification of the figure, which is DXF. This is what I typically refer to in videos when I'm talking about this sort of stuff as like the line that the figure is a part of, right? All of these figures here, there's a DXF Pokemon N? I actually didn't even know that. Interesting. As you can see here, right, all of the different figures that are a part of the DXF line are present. And of course, if you clicked on this, you could see all of the entries in this list. You can also click on the origin, which of course then becomes Dragon Ball Superhero, because of course, you know, all of the figures from Superhero that they have released will now be on this page for you to view. So if you would like to see stuff just from the specific movie, you can do that. Or, ironically enough, I had this page up in the beginning. If you just want to search for Dragon Ball Z figures specifically and not Dragon Ball Super, right? You can see here that we have every single one all listed here, right? Everything from Dragon Ball Z that they've ever come up with. I think before that said, what, like 3,000? Yeah, 3,400 entries, which is crazy, but I mean, makes sense because obviously they've made tons and tons of Dragon Ball figures over the years, right? If you just want to search Dragon Ball Super, you can also do that. I just searched Super. I'm pulling a Toriyama. Ironically enough, it came up with Superhero. I guess it kind of knew what I was trying to say. But yeah, if you search Dragon Ball Super, right, let's just go ahead and see. It actually, ironically enough, did not find it, but funny enough, I guess if I just wait for it to give me the actual results, then it will kind of find it for me. Yeah. So then you could like click Dragon Ball Super here, right? And then obviously, you know, it'll show you every Dragon Ball Super figure. Now, keep in mind, again, sometimes the way that the website classifies these things is it doesn't always, like, it's a little bit more general sometimes when it comes to the, like, figures it puts on here. Like, as you can see here, right, this is a very old Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Well, I guess it's not very old, but so 2016, I guess, is kind of old when it comes to figures, right? Obviously, we have the Figure Art Zero Goku. It says that this is a Dragon Ball Super figure. I mean, I guess it very well could be. But obviously, like, some of these figures, right, like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or like the original Super Saiyan Goku from Master Star's Piece, right? Definitely not Dragon Ball Super. So again, I would always recommend whenever you're looking at these, go by the character and the transformation. Anyway, going back to the boy Ultimate Gohan here, you can also see obviously the specific character, which of course in Dragon Ball's case, it will include the transformation as part of the character. You can see the company that created, which is of course our good friends over at Bandai. We have the release date. Now keep in mind, this website only documents the Japanese release dates of these figures, right? So obviously, when it comes to these guys coming stateside, there isn't a documented date for that because it's kind of wishy-washy, to be honest with you. A lot of the different types of figures are different. It's not as easy to kind of pinpoint when's the official release date for the American side of figures, but typically, we will kind of go over this in a future video in this series, but usually if it's prize figures, and Ichiban Kuji figures, they'll come out a couple months later, and usually if it's SH Figure Arts, they'll come out a month later. So that's typically how it goes, but obviously if it hasn't come out in Japan yet, then obviously it's not available to get. And if the figure has come out in Japan, it is available to get on the internet in some form or fashion. Again, we will cover that in a future video. It tells you what materials it is made of, and as well, it does tell you the dimensions of the figure. Now, again, keep in mind, because I believe they are using the official dimensions of this particular figure, it might not always be accurate because sometimes the measurements for Dragon Ball figures are really weird. Sometimes they don't include the hair, and sometimes they don't include the base. So these measurements might not always be exact. That's just something that I want you to keep in mind with this. Now, ironically enough, Gohan does not have it present here, but let's use the boy here, right? let's use the boy, the Super Master Stars piece Goku as an example, right? You can see that this was actually a Ichiban Kuji figure that way back in the day when Bam Presto worked on Ichiban Kuji figures. Obviously, this figure is from 2016. I know I'm saying that like it's so long ago, but to be fair, I guess that is 7 years ago. Holy cow. At the time of this recording anyway. Regardless, though, you can see that this guy has a little bit more information on him. You can see that besides the release dates, it actually has the price, right, as you can see there, which is pretty cool, and a automatic conversion to USD, which is awesome, right, because you can see that obviously it has it in Japanese currency, but if you just click on the USD button, it'll show you what that is in USD. Obviously, keep in mind, 2016, this price is not the same as this price now, because of course you have to account for inflation and all that fun stuff when it comes to, you know, transitioning between different currencies, but this gives you a basic idea, right? So it is nice that you can see the price, and that will also give you an idea of the price of these figures that you should be paying in the future. Because again, we will go over figure prices in a future video, but it's definitely just a good resource to have on hand. As well, it will sometimes, if it is known, actually show you the different producers who worked on it, and you can see different producers, right? Sculptors, colorers, stuff like that, right? You can see people who were actually involved with the figure, which is really, really cool. And another big thing for Goku specifically is two more things that are on this page. Actually, three. It does tell you if there are bootlegs of this particular figure, which is awesome. You can see, warning, there is a counterfeit item of this, you know, particular Goku. Unfortunately, they don't have any pictures of the counterfeit, but it does let you know that, hey, if you're going to be buying this from a website that is not necessarily like, you know, an official retailer, be aware that bootlegs do exist when you are going out there into the big wide world. Now, the other really cool thing about MyFigureCollection is that because MyFigureCollection has the ability to log in, you can actually see pictures of the figure from different people's collections. If we click on this picture here, right, or this little icon here rather, you can see that in a bunch of different people's collections, they have the Master Stars piece Goku. There he is right there, right? We have the boy on full display, which is awesome. You can kind of click through these too. Obviously, not every figure will have pictures because it just depends on if people uploaded them or not. But you can see here in this particular person's collection, they actually posted a close-up image of the figure. So if you would like to get a good idea of the figure in terms of what it actually looks like out of the box, right, you can kind of take a look through some of these images and obviously, you know, get a feel for the figure and see if you like it when you're looking through, you know, what kind of figure you would think about purchasing. So that's definitely a great way to kind of see what the figure actually looks like, is looking through the different images they have for people's collections. As well, too, the other thing that is really nice about this website is it actually has related items. So if there are any variations of this figure, like for example, Goku has 5 total color variations of this guy, right? We have the, what I guess you would consider to be the original, right? We have the more lighter color version, right? We have the black and white color version. We have this one that's a little bit more like dulled colors. And then we have the, I guess would kind of be special color version, right? Whatever you would want to call these specifically. I think they do have technical names, but obviously I'm trying to just be a little bit more like easygoing on the technicalities of all this stuff for the sake of the video. You can see that if you click on that little icon, apparently he actually has 7. Wow, I actually didn't know yet. Oh yeah, that's right, because there's a Lunar New Year one where it has like the red on it, which is super cool. And they actually made one for Xenoverse. I forgot about that. But yeah, so you can see all the different variations of a particular figure, if it has any variations. Obviously, not every figure is going to have variations like this, but of course, you know, with a figure like this guy, the Master Stars piece Goku, he is going to have a ton. Now, with all of that being said, I think that this is easily the best resource when it comes to looking for the kind of figure that you want. Because again, it is as easy as, okay, what Dragon Ball character do you want, right? Let's just say, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Super Saiyan 43, holy cow. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, right? Bam, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta right there. And now we can look at all the Super Saiyan 4 Vegetas that ever existed. Keep in mind, obviously, depending on the figure you're looking for, right? Of course, Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 will have so many less than just like Super Saiyan Goku, of course, because there's a million Super Saiyan Goku figures. But this will allow you to kind of look through and see what you actually want to get. Now, obviously, keep in mind, because this documents all figures, they have some really old stuff on here. You can see this is from 2008, right? You can see this guy. They don't even have the date listed for some of these because I guess there's just not a release date in particular. This one's from 1996. So it is a very cool website in terms of like looking at a little bit of Dragon Ball history, but obviously for the purpose that we're kind of using it for, right? Probably like 2016 and onward is really where you would be looking in terms of like looking at the actual type of figure that you would like to get. And again, that's why it's always best to kind of sort by release date, because I'm sure most people are going to be looking for newer figures. Now, on top of all of that, and this fantastic resource that is MyFigureCollection, right? I think that the best tool that is also at your disposal, right? Besides just looking at this website, and I think that this can be used in tandem with this website, is looking up reviews of these figures on YouTube. Obviously, if you would like, you can just look up Goku Dragon Ball figure on YouTube and then kind of, you know, peruse through the catalog and see if there's something you like. But what I would recommend doing is taking this website, MyFigureCollection, right, and finding a figure you want, and then going on YouTube and searching for the name of the figure, and then looking at a couple of people's reviews about the figure. Obviously, I have done tons of figure videos in my time on YouTube, whether it be on the original Dokkan Assets channel, or of course this channel, the Dokkan Assets Unboxing channel. Chances are I may have even taken a look at your favorite figure, but obviously there are a bunch of people who do Dragon Ball figure reviews on YouTube, so chances are if there are any of these figures that you are interested in, somebody has probably taken a look at it on the internet. So that is what I would definitely recommend doing, because obviously you can always look at a picture of a figure, but a video will always do a figure a little bit more justice, just because you can see the full 3D of it, right? The person can actually turn it around, show it to you compared to some other figures, stuff like that. So that is what I would recommend in terms of trying to pick the Dragon Ball figure that you are interested in. Like I said, I think that honestly, knowing different types of Dragon Ball figures and their prices would also be a helpful first step when it comes to looking into what Dragon Ball figure you want to buy. But I think that it's just really handy to have this resource by your side, right? So that whenever you're looking for a particular figure, you can always refer back to this website for all this different kind of information on a figure, so that you have it in your back pocket handy for when you go to actually purchase your figure. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if this video helped you out. Of course, like I said, I have a bunch of other videos planned for this series that I am very excited to get to. I'm going to try and make this as detailed as possible, while also making it as easy to digest as possible, because obviously this is quite a big endeavor when it comes to talking about all of the nitty-gritty of this type of thing, right? Obviously, this is years of Dragon Ball figure collecting experience under my belt that I am trying to share with you in, you know, as little time as possible in these videos. So I will do my best. Let me know if you guys enjoy this type of content, of course, with a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below. And that will do it for your boy. Thank you so much for watching. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.